welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you live from the Singapore Fintech Festival, and joining me for this segment, we have Julian Trostinsky. He's the Global Director of Solutions Engineering at Gresham Technologies. We're here to discuss why settlement needs better fintech regulation so that the industry can keep up with all the changes that we're going to see. Julian, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you.
Let's talk about that, the challenges as it pertains to settlement rules like T+1. It sounds as if the industry is going to have some challenges to overcome.
Yeah, so it's inevitable. It's coming, right? Comes May 28th of 2024. The changes will be coming. We're going to need to report things much, much sooner. I think the way the industry is looking at it right now, I personally think that it's falling behind significantly. So we recently did a study with Waters Technology, and what we actually determined out of 46 organizations that we've questioned, only 26% are in project phase right now, in testing, which is, if you think about it, this study was done in October, 8 months left to due date. They're not quite ready at all. 20% of the questioned organizations were just getting into project, and the rest of them haven't even thought about it.
I'm a little speechless here. I mean, when you think about the tech stack and the testing and being able to roll it out, and it doesn't even sound like, what is it, 7 months now that there's enough time. And that leads to my next question. If you have poor settlement and reconciliation processes, that leaves companies vulnerable.
That's exactly what will happen, we're afraid. And another thing we've got to remember, that the problem within our space starts with data, right? So if your data is bad to begin with, you will be reporting bad data. So what Gresham does, we collect, normalize, and then we reconcile the data on behalf of the clients. When it comes to T+1 basis, from a point of view of automation, we're already capable of handling things in real time, intraday, batch, right? So to us, it doesn't matter. But the clients who are using us, they're more or less prepared. The clients who aren't using us and performing these things manually, how do they do this? You know, they're losing a day.
What happens if they're not in compliance with these rules? Are they not able to transact business? What happens?
So they will transact the business. They're going to need to throw more manpower at it, right? And if you throw more manpower in a general operational resource shortage that we have in the market right now, who are you going to throw at it, right? So you will be dealing with errors. You will be dealing with fines. There'll be quite a lot of things that could potentially go very, very wrong. So my advice to any organization who hasn't started thinking or looking at it, start. Do not delay, right? This is coming. It's unavoidable.
Right. So it sounds like your solutions are bespoke to the client needs. How do you think, could this be pivotal in driving the financial system forward?
So is it pivotable? I mean, there'll be some gains, right? So again, out of 46 questioned organizations, majority of them, but not that big of a majority, 56%, believes that yes, there will be benefits. Others think that it's just something that they're going to need to do. They're not quite happy about it, but at the end of the day, you're going to need to finish your work and report on it sooner, right? And yes, it will start with the US and Canada, right? Because that's where it's going to most likely start. I believe on October 5th, ESMA has already put out a call to European organizations to start thinking of T+1 and report back to them by the middle of December whether or not it's something that they will be willing to take on immediately after their counterparts in US and Canada are done. APAC will also be affected, right? APAC will be affected from a point of view, if your trades finish on Friday, you will need to report it on Saturday, right? So you're going to need to implement some kind of a follow-a-sun approach if you're not fully automated.
We had DTCC on with us yesterday, and our guest was saying you have less than 24 hours to settle.
So DTCC, in my opinion, had done probably the most amount of investigation on this to determine whether or not it is something that will be of benefit or something that could potentially, hurt the industry. And I think in one of the reports that I actually read from the TCC, it clearly states that if you are not automated and if you have global presence, you will need to substitute the shortage of resources and the fact that your end of day in UK, throughout the entire Europe or US will need to be somehow covered elsewhere. Right? So automation in this particular key, in my opinion, is the key.
All right. Julian, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us
You're
on
welcome.
Trade Talks. And thanks for joining me from Singapore. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.